Hello. What is up, guys? Today's video is gonna be like a self-care, get ready with me vibe. Sorry, I've got to clean my ears. I just got out of the shower. But yeah, I'm in my robe, as you can tell. And I've got my books here next to me. And I've got all my skincare right here. I am ready to show y'all what I read this month. I don't have all of these books. Oh, my hair is so bad, but I washed it last night, so we're gonna go with a classic bun. Just keep it out of my face while I do my skincare. Yes, it is a little pink. I dyed it pink for Halloween and it's being washed out right now. But we're gonna start with the first book I read this month and my first skincare product. So the first, where is this book? Wait, one second, let me grab this book from my bookshelf. Okay, so forgot to grab it off the shelf. The first book I read was The Last Chance Library by Freya Sampson. And the first product I'm going to use is Glow Recipes Watermelon Glow Pore Tight Toner. So I don't have like anything to put it on my face with other than my fingers, so I just like dab it on my face and then rub it in with my fingers. I know I should be using like a cotton round or something, but this is better for the environment. So yeah, Last Chance Library. It's about this girl who's works at a library and they're threatening to shut it down, so she has to try and save the library. And so basically the story is about her finding her courage and strength to stand up for what she like believes in. There's a little bit of a love story, but it's kind of like a side plot in comparison with her like finding herself, standing up for what she knows is right, like finding friendships, and all that stuff. And I love like the kind of like meta of having a book be about books / libraries. So I don't know, I thought it was really fun and cute. I recommend it. Obviously I finished it. I did give it 5 stars on Goodreads, which might be a little bit high. Like it's probably not like a full 5 stars. It's probably like a 4.2 or 3. So maybe I'll change that in Goodreads. But I liked it a lot. I recommend it. Good for all ages. So 10, maybe not 10 out of 10, 4.5 out of 5. The next 5 books that I read on my Kindle. So I don't have a physical copy of them to show you, but I'll just put some screenshots up here. But I'm sure if you were on Book Talk that you have heard about the Briar U books by Elle Kennedy. I read them. And the next step of my skincare routine is the Ordinary hyaluronic acid serum. So I just put a few drops of this on my face, kind of. In the T-zone. It is kind of drying, but I moisturize afterwards, so yeah. I read the Briar U series, all 5 of them. My favorite one was definitely the first one, which is The Chase with Garrett and Hannah. I think after that it's like, I mean, you know what to expect in all of them, like, but I just think Garrett and Hannah is the best one. But if you like the first one, like, you have to keep reading, because the next books are all of Garrett's friends, and Garrett and Hannah are still in the other ones, but also you could totally read them like standalone. They don't have to be read together. You could read them in any order also, like, it's totally up to you. So yeah, I totally recommend. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. I think that's a fair assessment. Like, the first one for sure a 4, the other ones maybe 3s. But I still recommend. I love them all, and I flew through them. Then the next book and the next step in my skincare routine, The Love Hypothesis. If you're on Book Talk or just like in the book world, everyone read this book this month. It was so good. Like, one of the top books that I've read in such a long time. Like, I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Like, one of the few books that in the first like 3 pages, I was instantly hooked. Allie Hazelwood does such a good job with this. Yes, it's a romance book. Fake dating trope, which is one of my favorite tropes. And yeah, I'll continue to talk about it while I moisturize. So I'm using the Glossier Priming Moisturizer, and then I'm mixing in a few tanning drops. These are the Tanologist tanning drops in the color Dark, which might be a little bit too dark for this time of year because I am much more pale than when I bought the drops, but they're what I have. So I just mix this on the back of my hand. I do like I don't know how much this is, a medium amount, and then I put 2 drops. A little bit goes a long way of this. 3 is definitely the max you should put, but because I'm pale right now and I'm using the dark color, I will not be putting more than 2 drops. So then I just dot this on my face, down the neck, make sure to go down the neck, and then just letting that kind of soak into the skin, evenly going all the way to the edge, down the neck, all the way to your hairline, because otherwise you will have a line. It will be noticeable. The self tanner is effective. So there's that. And yeah, anyway, I gave The Love Hypothesis 5 stars on Goodreads. I read it in one day. I could not put it down. I usually get sick when I read in the car, but I risked it for the biscuit to finish that book because we had to go somewhere and I needed to know what was happening. So I read it in one day. It was so good. Highly, if you read any book that I read this month, read The Love Hypothesis. So because I loved The Love Hypothesis, I immediately purchased The Spanish Love Deception, which I'd heard was kind of similar. It's by Elena Aramas, I believe is how you pronounce her last name. This is a thick boy. Like, she's pretty, I mean, she's not that thick, but like in comparison with some of like The Love Hypothesis, she's long. And again, the reason why I think people recommend this book after The Love Hypothesis is that it's fake dating trope. Like I said, one of my favorite tropes. Co-workers that hate each other, similar to The Hating Game or The X Talk, which if you haven't seen me react to The Hating Game trailer, you should. I just uploaded that. That's also a good book if you're in the romance genre. So it's kind of a combination of a bunch of other books that I really enjoyed. And because of that, it was still so good. Like, I still read it really quickly. I think I gave it 4 stars. Let me see. Yeah, I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads. Like, still good, still recommend. But I think I kind of overdid it on the romance books because I had like a few months ago I read The X Talk, The Hating Game. I just read The Love Hypothesis. And so it was good. I would highly recommend. I think I did too much with trying to read this one this month also. Yeah. So the next step in my skincare is the Laneige lip sleeping mask. I'm not going to sleep right now, but this is just like such a good lip balm that if I'm not eating anytime soon, I put it on because I know that my lips can always use the extra moisture, especially in the cold months that we're having. Now that it's November. But I also don't like to waste it if I'm about to like eat or drink something and I know it's just gonna come off because it is expensive. But a little bit goes along with this, and it comes with this little like scooper to help scoop it out of the pot, which I find very nice. Okay, so that's like my like skincare, and now we're gonna move into like, there's like 2 more steps of like what I do after my skincare to kind of just like zhuzh myself up to go somewhere because I'm going to get dinner with a friend tonight. So the next book that I read for a class. So I read Cranford by Elizabeth Gaskell. It's a classic, which I like to try and mix it up. I love Pride and Prejudice, Jane Eyre, Little Women. Like I've read all of those classics because you have to be a well-rounded reader, and they're good. So I read Cranford for a class, so I don't know if that really counts, but I did read it still. It's a good book. There's not that much plot. It's very episodic. So like Friends, you could just like pick it up and like start a random chapter and kind of like get the gist of what was going on because there's not too much plot. It's a lot of like character development. So if you don't like that, I wouldn't recommend this book. But I got the Penguin Classics like cloth collector's edition because I love the way they look on my shelf. I rated it 3 stars. Like, would it be 3 stars for a romance book? No, but for a classic, 3 stars. You have to kind of adjust the scales on that one. So 3 stars. And then I also read, I need to do my next step, which is the Glossier Future Dew. It's an oil serum. I just like put 2 pumps on my cheeks and then just again rub it into my face. And this is just like gives me a nice dewy glowy look, so I don't look so like greasy. It's more like, oh, maybe she put some highlighter on, she's like fresh faced, not like she's wearing a translucent face mask or something like that. So yeah, that was my next step. And the last book that I read this month is It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. I have another book of hers on my TBR list. This was good. What did I rate it? I think I gave it a 3. Yeah, 3 stars. For romance, that's still really good. I think I read it in one day. It's tropey. It's good. It's romance. A party girl. Her dad forces her to move to like this fishing town to learn what it means to like work. She falls in love with one of the locals. You know the vibes. Really good, sweet, easy read. And yeah, that's what I read this month. And then the last step of what I do to like make myself look presentable is I always brush through my eyebrows because I've got thick boy eyebrows. And they can go crazy when I'm like rubbing all this stuff in my face. So I just brush them out and then it like kind of pulls it together. So that is my finished skincare self-care routine. and the books I read this month. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you like hearing about books, what I'm reading, all that kind of stuff, follow me on Instagram and TikTok. They're always down below. And yeah, watch my other book videos. I've posted several before, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys. Mwah.